We touched on it a little bit at the weekend, but I feel like we should talk about it more because we didn't have much time because, once again, Lewis is always in a rush. But Floyd Mayweather last week caused quite a storm, came into the octagon and set tongues wagging. As I said, we spoke about it a bit on Saturday, but should we? Do you want to give your opinion on that, Lewis?
Yeah, look, I think where there's smoke, there's fire. That's what I think. I think if the money was right, why wouldn't he? He has got nothing to lose. He looks like the fucking man. The only thing Floyd Mayweather does is he comes out, he gets to look like the man. Him, Conor McGregor, in the octagon, he jumped over, he did that sport. I don't think he's going to do it, but I do think that there is a path to get there. I think there's enough money in that, in seeing him do that, that we could see that. And I think more than anything else, what we're probably seeing is him possibly working with the UFC to launch the new boxing side, which is Zuffa Boxing. I know that when they had worked together and Showtime had worked with the UFC, they had been super impressed with the way the UFC markets and brands. So I could see that it being more of a troll job and them trying to kind of work together on that end.
Well, and I might be getting this wrong, but I'm sure I read a quote somewhere where Dana said he will never work with that Espinoza guy ever again. Yeah. I read that somewhere. So if I'm misquoting, I apologize. I'm sure he said that, though. He said he will never work with that. Is it Steven Espinoza from Showtime again? And I believe that he has the contractual rights to Floyd Mayweather. As I say,
he will never work with Dana White. He said he will never work with Tito Ortiz again.
True.
You know.
True. Yeah.
Tito Ortiz wore a T-shirt to the away and that said Dana White is my bitch.
Yeah. I think he's done worse than that as well. So, it's funny. I'll tell you this right now. We're never going to see Floyd Mayweather fight inside the UFC. If he does, it's suicide. It's absolute suicide. Not to mention the fact he can get hurt. He can really get hurt. I was talking about it a bit on Saturday. Conor McGregor would take him down in no time. Look at how he was able to take Max Holloway down. I think it was in the third round when he blew out his knee. He couldn't dance around on his feet no more. He went to plan B. He took down Max Holloway. Okay, that was a long time ago when Max Holloway was a lot younger. He's obviously a better fighter now, probably better takedown defense. But still, Conor could take down Max Holloway. Imagine how quickly he could take down Floyd Mayweather, because that would be the safe bet. And then from there, you could do whatever you wanted to. Elbow him in the face repeatedly, break his arm, put him to sleep, whatever it is. There is no way on this earth that Floyd Mayweather is stupid enough to do that. And, you know, when you speak about stupidity, obviously to get to that level in combat sports, you have to have a certain amount of brain power as well. It's not all physical. The mental side of it is huge. I always speak about that. The brain controls everything what the body does. The mind controls the body. So he has a good handle on his emotions, okay, to be able to get this far in life. And having that handle on those emotions will not allow him to step foot in the UFC, knowing that it would be not career suicide because it's a lot of money that they're talking about, but it just wouldn't be smart. Why do that when he could just box again? When he could just box again and, as you say, potentially under the Zuffa umbrella? Okay, all right, whatever. I don't know the if, buts, and maybes, the ins and outs of that deal. It's that would be very complicated water. But if he could just box again, if he wants to earn money, then why wouldn't he just do that? Why would he do a totally new sport? Just doesn't make sense.
What's more likely? What do you think? Floyd Money Mayweather fighting the octagon, or Michael Count Bisping versus CM Punk, Madison Square Garden, 2018, this summer, July 4th weekend. Bisping.
Okay. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna issue the first ever official warning. That's one strike, Lewis.
That's
one
it.
Strike.
That's
Three
it.
strikes in one show, and that's it. I'll tell you this right now. Floyd Money Mayweather will never fight in a mixed martial arts fight.
All right. You got it.
That's my pick. That is it. I just don't believe it. I could be wrong, but it just doesn't make any sense.
I agree with you. You had mentioned Holloway. We didn't get to talk about that yet. What do you think about this? He's out of the fight, but this is an interesting thing. I guess it was a writer from the LA Times said that Nate Diaz would definitely be interested in filling in for Holloway. Now, I'm assuming it wouldn't be at 145 pounds. It would probably be at 155 pounds, which Frankie Edgar's fought at. But that'd be a really interesting fight. Do you believe any of this?
So Frankie Edgar versus Nate Diaz at 155.
Well, that's just kind of my assumption. I mean, I don't think Nate can make 145 pounds.
Yeah, well, exactly. That doesn't sound feasible. Nate isn't the smallest guy, so 145. He's never fought at that weight class, and certainly after being away from the fight game for so long, it doesn't make sense to come back at a new weight class. So could he make 145? Possibly. Maybe if he, had the worst weight cut ever. Does it make sense? No, it doesn't. So I don't know where this writer is getting his details. Maybe Nate Diaz told him that, but I just don't see the logic behind a Nate Diaz Frankie Edgar matchup. It doesn't make sense. Frankie Edgar is a tough matchup for anybody. Nate Diaz, I'm not saying he's looking for easy matchups. He's looking for big paydays. He's been away for almost 2 years since the last Conor fight, and he said he's only coming back to fight the biggest people. Now, Frankie Edgar, whilst being a household name in mixed martial arts, isn't... I don't know. I'm not looking at his pay-per-view numbers right now, but I don't think he goes down as one of the big pay-per-view draws. So I just don't see that fight giving Nate Diaz what he would require. I might be wrong. It'd be a good fight to come back. The fans would enjoy it. He'd get a lot of respect for taking a tough fight. But financially, I don't think that's what he's looking for.
Yeah, no, I mean, I tend to agree with you. I mean, he said he's 100% interested. This is, according to the LA Times... yeah, dude. I mean, look, dude. That's fucking. Who knows? This guy tweeted this. Lance Pugmire.
Oh, Lance Pugmire. Yeah, I've spoken to Lance Pugmire. He's a good journalist. So I don't think he'd go out there and write something like that unless there was some kind of basis for him saying that. And I'm assuming most good journalists kind of, unless they're fucking assholes and write for MMA Mania. But generally. That's what they do.
That's really funny because I'm looking at MMA Mania, the story right now.
Is it on MMA Mania? Seriously, I hate that website. Can we strike two, Lewis?
What?
Strike two.
God damn it. I was going to save strike two for a bong hit halfway through the show.
Strike two. Jesus Christ. My God, we're on thin ice here, ladies and gentlemen. The stream will stop. All 7 people will stop watching. Oh, my God. This person needs to stop messaging me. What else do we want to talk about? So we've done Kylie Jenner. We've done the Super Bowl. Valentine's Day next week, Lewis. But
are you
that's
asking me
for next week because next Monday will only be the 12th. You know that, right? 5 and 7 is 12.
Well, can I tell you why I wanted to talk about it this week versus next week?
Go ahead.
Because then it gives our fans time to maybe consider what we talk about when they're trying to plan their dates with their significant others. You are a very successful fighter. You had a beautiful wife, beautiful family. I'm assuming before you were married, you were crushing puss left and right. Me personally, I'm out there. I'm in the world of New York City, stand-up comedian. Obviously, doing pretty good in that department. And we have Shannon, who's a hot broad, who can also give some insight as to what women are looking for on Valentine's Day. Boom.
But next week's show will be better because that would be the 12th. It will be 2 days before said Valentine's Day.
No.
It will be 2 days before this mass commercial event that is just simply designed to get money out of people's pockets, out of the consumers' pockets. And I, for one, don't buy into it, Lewis, So,
bah humbug.
Well, listen, year round I'm a nice guy. I send flowers, I do this, I'm romantic, I don't need a special day.
Every once in a while
to be nice.
Every once in a while you'll let her take a ride in your Maserati.
If I can get it fixed. Yeah. If it's actually, usable on that day.
Fine, we can say it for next week, but can I make my point though? Listen to me. Anybody who's making plans 2 days before Valentine's Day is not doing anything cool with their woman. Period. 2 days before is not enough time.
Jesus Christ. What type of thing have you got in mind? 2 days is enough to plan anything.
I had a great idea.
Maybe a restaurant reservation at most. What are we talking here? You don't take your wife on a fucking cruise to the Bahamas for Valentine's Day.
No, but a nice restaurant, any restaurant on Valentine's Day.
Book a restaurant.
Yeah, but here's the thing. If you're doing that.
Hold on. I'm going to book. Yeah, hi. Yeah, can I get a table for 2, please? Sweet. Boom. Done. Of course, that wasn't a real restaurant.
That was just acting. He wanted to show some of the Hollywood producers on baby might be watching.
Hey, guys, check this out. Oh my God! You know, we were supposed to call John Anik on this show, but
What happened?
I never
That's all
organised
you.
it.
You were supposed to set it up.
Yeah, I know. I was too busy watching Kylie Jenner's baby.
Caitlyn.
Uh,
By the way, I will say, side note, I've never met a not crazy woman named Caitlyn. So the fact that
what was your ex called?
I'm not saying anybody's names, but I've never met I've met like 7 or 8 chicks named Caitlyn, and every one of them are fucking batshit. And the fact that Caitlyn Jenner named herself Caitlyn means there's something fucking loopy there.
Did she name herself Caitlyn?
Yeah, no, yeah.
What do you mean she named herself Caitlyn?
That's what happens when transgendered people become
Oh, sorry, she's the transgender one, right? Okay,
You
sorry. I don't know. I thought you were talking about the one that's pregnant. That's Kylie. Fuck me. All right. Strike 3. No more fucking Kardashians.
I can't be strike 3 for you forgetting things.